Is your horn tingling? Let's rub horns. Horns up, horns up, horns up, horns up, horns up. We are Unicorn Podcast.
There's a lot going on right now in the Unicorn Fart Desk community. One of the big projects which we undertook was a complete rebuild of our website. Today, I'm joined by Exit the Matrix. He's the person that spearheaded this effort, and we are going to give you today the first look at the new Unicorn Fart Desk website. Exit, welcome to Duster Club. Welcome to Ron's Basement.
Thanks so much, Ron. Really appreciate it. Hi, everybody. Pleasure to be here again.
Yeah, you got to be excited. I want to point out, but just so I don't forget, thank you very much for everything you've done. I know you've worked tirelessly on this project, and I think it looks great. We're going to show everybody here in a few seconds, but on behalf of myself and the entire UFD community, thank you for everything you've done, because you are a professional and skilled, and we are lucky to have you here. So thank you very much.
It's absolutely my pleasure. And, of course, these kinds of things center around a person that puts things live and brings them into a focus. But I want to also say that there's been a cast of people involved behind the scenes in making this happen. The whole leadership group, the leadership council, has spent a bunch of hours in reviewing and providing comments and feedback, and that's been absolutely fantastic. I wanted to also acknowledge Just a Guy, who proposed the framework for it and indeed helped to set it up. So that's been tremendous. When we have that kind of skill in-house, it's amazing. And Erms as well has helped with reviewing and testing and providing his stamp of approval on it. So these things kind of center around, like I said, the person who pushes the button, but it wasn't just me. I'll just put it that way.
Let's just let everybody know I'm the one that did everything. Okay, Exit, right?
Yeah, like the cat's out of the bag now. Where's Jasper?
Yeah, the cat's out of the bag. No, there was a whole team. There always is, and thank you to everybody who worked on this. We just have a lot going on right now out there in the community and in the project. And what was the impetus? What motivated you to think that we needed to redo the website? Was there something? Did you think that you could make it better, per se? Yes.
Yeah. Well, the short answer is yes. What kind of led to it is, as I've looked at, because we're humans, so part of our nature is to compare things. And I try to minimize that because it doesn't generally lead to happy places. But I think that comparing in order to motivate oneself is useful. And so looking at what, not necessarily competition, but what else is in this space and what does it look like, and what's engaging, right? Our website was pushing information out, but it wasn't really drawing the visitor in to have an interaction, to kind of tell a story. And that's what really kind of tweaked my mind at first to how to tell the story of UFD in a way that's engaging, that's interactive. We talked about over several of our leadership meetings, we talked about, you actually brought this up, Ron, how do we provide information to people about all the cool things that we've done, about the things that are yet ahead of us, about the things that we're working on to provide some transparency and just get people involved in different efforts. Because if you don't know what's going on, how do you know what to raise your hand for necessarily?
Yeah.
And so this was also a chance to provide a venue for displaying that information. And we have various cool things that happen in the community. I won't steal thunder from actually revealing the site, but we have some really cool things that happen in the community, and this is also our chance to highlight them.
Yeah, I like what you said. I wrote a few things down, because instead of a website that just shows information and says, here it is, this is what we are, it feels like the goal of this was to create something interactive, something that told a story, right? Because I think the lore of UFD and the story that we're all creating together, really from day one, is a big part of our community. but also provide good information. And I know, we're going to look at some things here, but you've been able to kind of tie in data from some different sources, a place where people can come and not just read, but interact and feel like they're a part of. Is that a safe assessment?
100%. And when you said the data sources, I'm kind of chuckling here in the background to myself, because what you guys are about to see, of course, is the kind of the face of the site and the interaction of it and so on and so forth. And yes, you're going to see the pieces that pull information. But from an effort perspective, just to give you an idea, the part that pulls the information from other sources and displays it, that's the part that's like 3/4 of the effort overall behind the scenes, right? And that's how it generally is. When you look at a building, you see the facade of it, but you don't necessarily think, unless you're in construction, of what the foundation was like and how it was armed and all of these different pieces that go into it. So this is similar here. The scaffolding and the structure of it is what takes most work versus the visible pieces.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of work that went into it. I saw your messages. I was following along, tremendous amount of work behind the scenes to make everything work smoothly and, operate like it's supposed to. And I think the other exciting thing about this is we're very lucky to have you who put it together, and as that this can evolve as well, right? When people have recommendations, other good ideas, when our IP is out, that we can kind of maybe even rebrand it. Is that a safe assessment?
100%. And this is actually where the work that Just a Guy did really comes into the fore, because the way that we've designed this site is so that it's very modular and easy to maintain. So you could see something on screen and it looks great, but in the background, if you want to make a change, but it's going to take you a couple of weeks to put it in, and you have to go through a whole bunch of code and so on and so forth. No. This is so that, and as we go through the site, I'll talk about the elements where we're reading things from a text file, for example. Well, not necessarily text file, but from a formatted file. But so putting new information in there is very, very easy. Changing the color scheme, very, very easy. Other components as well. And this is meant to be a living site, not something that's static. So for the first month, I've committed to making weekly releases that are to address issues and any tiny little tweaks and refinements. Once our IP is released, of course, that'll be part of it, is making sure that the imagery that we have matches it, working with the appropriate artists to also create the rest of the images and fill everything in a way that's consistent.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'll actually commit myself to a monthly release window where the community is going to have a voice in Discord to vote on what does the backlog for this look like, what is the feature board, if you will, and then which of these features do we want to prioritize.
I love what you refer to it as a living site, because that matches up directly with our community, right? We are a living, evolving community. So as the months go by and the years go by, the site will continue to evolve. And, you did some cool things. I don't know if you're going to show everything to everybody. I think you want to leave a few surprises, but, but there could be other components, right, as well. I mean, if somebody has a great idea for another tab, I guess I'm an old guy, I would call it, but another component that could potentially be done. Is that a safe statement?
100%. And I'll kind of drop a little teaser here. You've seen some of the cool memes that have been going around connected to Unicorn Fart Dust, and so we're actually in the works with one of our community members to bring an interactive component that's going to tie that in. So it's kind of in the final stages, and I think that you'll be pleased with the result.
I think I heard a little bit about this, and yes, I guess I'll keep my mouth shut, exit, because that's what I'm not good at doing. But it's an interactive component, right? It's a cool thing that people can do on the site. Did I say too much? I don't think I did.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah. Well, you want to head out there and you can take us for a grand tour?
Let's do it.
Of your baby? Okay, so I'm going to share. Everybody should see the website now on their screen. And why don't you just walk us through, and I'll if I screw something up, let me know.
Perfect. There's no screwing it up, by the way. It's meant to be robust.
Okay. I can't break it. We'll see.
it would take a lot of effort to break it. The way that we're hosted now, and I'll go through that in a few moments, but is very redundant, meaning that it doesn't just sit on one server. It sits on dozens of servers around the world, and depending on where the visitor is located, they're accessing it from the closest location. So that's part of it as well, is to make it robust, make it not impervious to attacks, but make it a lot more resilient to any potential attacks.
We are distributed. Our servers are distributed, just like our community.
Just like 100%. That's exactly it. And I think that it kind of follows that ethos, and it's a beautiful thing. The only way the site truly goes down is if the internet goes down, like globally. Okay. Yeah.
Well, if that happens, it was really nice knowing you.
Likewise. All right. So the start page, the layout of it, the reason it's set up in this way is because it tells a story. So the first thing that we want to do with the visitor is give them a chance to buy UFD, because after all, this is their gate in is to hold beans. Mm-hmm. But if you were so if you click on the buy UFD button, Ron, you'll see that we're listing various places where the person can buy UFD. Of course, starting with our sponsors, right?
Right, MoonPay, awesome. HTX. Go ahead. Yeah. I'm sorry.
In the blurb above as well, we have we talk about the fact that protecting your beans is important. So our other sponsors mentioned up top, which is Ledger, and they're a great option.
Awesome, love it. What if I click on? Can I click on MoonPay?
You can click on any of these things. Yeah, absolutely.
And then let's just.
It opens a new. It opens a new page, which possibly opens on a different window that's not showing to the audience here right now.
Yeah. Nope. Here, I can show it real quickly. So yeah, I clicked on it, and it brought us to channel sponsor MoonPay. So let me go back to our website, and here we go.
Perfect.
We should be back. So, yeah, HTX, Kraken, awesome. Wow. Yeah, that's great. That's very cool.
So if you close out of that run, so if someone's coming to the site and they're just not ready yet. Mm-hmm. So as we scroll down, the next thing we see are statistics. Because maybe I'm not convinced. I don't really know if this is real. I kind of want to see some data here. And so this is the idea that's the cadence of the journey that we're taking the visitor on. As the second thing is, well, let's find out what the numbers say, and then we'll go there in a moment. But let's just keep going down the page just to cover the starting page.
Oh, cool.
If they've looked at the numbers and they're jazzed about it, they're like, yeah, this looks really good. Maybe got some beans. Maybe they want to find out a little bit more about the story of it. So, what's the lore here? What is this whole thing about? And if they know enough about the lore, well, maybe it's time to actually become the official duster, right? Get their horn.
Can I click on learn the lore?
Absolutely, sure.
Okay. Oh, cool! Check this out.
So, every story has a beginning and goes through a journey. So the same thing is with UFD. And as we go through life, we have photographs of key milestones, of key things that we may have huge photo albums, but there are probably a few dozen photos that we actually go back to on a regular basis. And so this is it. This is our photo wall, if you will, of UFD. What started with the prelude of Ron's channel, original channel, Silver and Gold.
Can I
click on it?
Can I click on that good looking guy real quickly? Let's see here.
Absolutely.
All right.
Sorry, we made the hair too gray. This isn't really fair to you.
Well, trust me, as my hair is getting grayer by the month, so just give it a few more months. Don't do an update.
Yeah. So each of these panels, each of these photos has a panel associated with it, which tells a story. And Mason did a great job working with Georgie to provide the content here, written up really, really nicely. So, as I actually read through it, I had my eyes started to sweat a little bit at one moment, because it's just, especially as we go through the further panels, there are some things that are quite touching. So that's neat, right?
Yeah, this is really cool. So now I'm on UFD launch, the launch story, correct? Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you can see here how quickly things not escalated but exploded, right? It's
Mhm.
from the origin story, from the launch, to to actually it blowing up, it
Yeah.
going crazy.
$400 million.
Yeah,
Yeah.
400.
Okay. You tell me what to
And
do. I'll
yeah,
listen.
so Ron, if you close this one and just kind of scroll the film strip to the end, just to show the user that there is
Rapid growth and adoption.
yeah,
Challenges overcome.
yeah, the hack.
The hack, right? Yeah, a couple
The
hacks.
community coming together, yeah.
And now we're in the accumulation phase, building the foundation. Wow, that is really cool. I love that because that gives people a chance to learn about what happened that got us to where we are today. I think that gives a potential a buttercup, a real concise and clear version of our story. I like that.
Mm-hmm. And if you were to scroll a little bit further to the right on the film strip itself, once you exit the panel here,
I can keep going.
Yeah, you can keep going. Let's just scroll
How
your
do I
mouse
do
over.
that? I can't do it. Hold on, I'm horrible. To the right?
Yeah.
Well, when I click, hold on, maybe if I do.
No, just like mouse sideways motion, like you were scrolling across the web page to the right. But
nope.
Across the panels.
I'm on a laptop, so I have like a mouse, like a little.
Yeah. No, I do too. It's 1 second.
And I'm horrible with this kind of stuff, and now I'm getting nervous. So
no worries. No, but so just so that the viewers know, if you're on your mobile device or if you're on your laptop, you can actually scroll to the further to the right, and there's one other panel there.
There is. Well, how the heck do I get there? This is going to drive me crazy.
I'll walk you through it later, just so that we're not.
All right. So there's a secret. There's a secret.
There's
panel
a secret
number 6.
panel. Absolutely. There we go. So there are some things we want to leave for the big reveal for the user to as you interact with it. Obviously, if we show you everything, it's like I've seen it. That's not that exciting. So there are going to be a few little, we'll just call them Easter eggs that are left for you.
Yes. Yes. I know of a few of them. So awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, buddy. Where do I go next?
Next, if you scroll down the site, we have some information. We have some terminology, of course. Meeting the greatest of all time, the GOAT, Ron Toshi, and some information about our developer. And on the left hand side, the sacred knowledge. So there is a lingo that comes with UFD. We have our own terminology as how we refer to different things. And so that's captured there, as well as Ron's promise to the community, right? So that's available, and then once someone has acquired the knowledge, once they feel confident, I know this stuff, and maybe I'm ready to get my horn.
Yeah.
They can click and take
this middle part, this middle thing down here. What is this
middle thing right here?
Test your knowledge, get your horn. Tell me about this. This looks cool. Duster certification. Well, go ahead, exit.
Yeah. So this was actually something, Ron, that you had mentioned that you'd love to see some way for dusters to kind of find out if they're ready to. Well, not really dusters. This is, maybe they have some beans. They're not quite a buttercup yet, but Duster comes with certain knowledge. Duster knows what people are talking about when we're on X and we're talking about rubbing horns, or when we're talking about horns up, or there are certain elements here that people need to demonstrate that they actually know what's going on, so they can become certified. And so this is it. Yeah, you can start the quiz and see what happens.
So this is a certification process, correct? Wow.
Exactly. A certification process.
Oh, I'm going to ask some questions instead of referring. Should I go through the whole thing, or should I?
You can just maybe let's leave the end to for people to discover on their own. Okay. But let's even do a few of them. We also don't want to give away all the answers, correct
No,
answers,
I know.
right?
Right, exactly. Instead of referring to our Unicorn Fart Dust tokens as coins, we refer to them as farts, lollipops, love bugs. All right, I'll answer this one correct. Beans.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Any person yet to own a UFD token is referred to as an outsider, butterfingers, buttercup, or a butterball. Now, I know the right answer, but I'm going to go with butterball and see what happens.
Perfect.
I got kicked out of the website. I told you I could break it, exit. Oh no, your last answer is incorrect.
It's meant to do exactly that. It's meant to have a little fart sound there and
so I can
give the person a chance to study some more or just retake the test immediately, right?
Yeah, and there's something special that happens at the end of that test when the test taker successfully completes the quiz. Correct?
That's exactly it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That is awesome.
So we'll whet people's appetite for what happens next.
Yeah. Well, I think that our lore, and I see it here kind of interwoven within the whole website, that our lore and our language, I should say, the glossary that I've been keeping track of, these words that we use, that's a real big part of our community. It's kind of our secret language, I guess you would say. And we're obviously using it for good attracts good, but I do think that it's a pretty cool. I know David Goldstein yesterday, he loves to call himself or say that he's not a buttercup. He always says, I ain't no buttercup. I ain't no, so yeah, awesome. I love it. How many questions are on that quiz? Look like about 14 or 15.
Yeah, there are 14 questions on the quiz. Yeah.
Okay.
And
go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that keeping with that original premise of the site being alive, there may be a future point at which we have more kind of an advanced quiz, if you will, or an add-on to the quiz where once you have your horn, maybe you get a diamond horn or something. I don't know, but there may be some stages here, but there may be some gamification, some progression that not only do you know the wording and the lore, but you've actually been participating actively in the community, so you're starting to understand some of the inside jokes, right? That just a casual person who had no idea what we're talking about, and that's cool because any community is alive through its references, and that really is the definition of even the word meme. My wife was listening to something the other day about this, how meme is essentially a social contract. Mm-hmm. And so we have the social contract that we actually believe that this has some value, that this is unique, and what binds us together as this community is the way that we refer to each other and different events and so on and so forth. It's our way of the secret, in a distributed world where we're not sitting face to face and physically interacting with each other all the time, because we have meetups, so that does happen. Right. But this is our secret handshake.
Yeah. And this just came to me, but most big organizations, I have a neighbor who was the president of the local Lions Club, and he tried for years to get me to join the Lions Club. And you have to take some, you have to go through a process to get certified as a lion, right? And and look, we're not, we aren't excluding anyone, but if they want to get certified, here's a good opportunity. And I love what you said, right? We could have the diamond level in the future, the all different types of cool things. Really fun. I love it. I think it's fun, but it also is a almost not a ritual, but a tool that we can use to help people feel like they're more part of the community. And I'm getting that feeling from the entire website that this is, I guess you said it at the beginning, it's interactive, it's our story, like that we're bringing people in, and that they're getting a real, because that's our value, right? Is our sense of the togetherness, our sense of belonging, our sense of shared purpose. So this is awesome, Exit. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. If you want to click on the stats, just to show folks what we're talking about as far as numbers are concerned. So here we have some information, and certain pieces of information get populated depending on the connection to the data. So there'll be some things that, like, for example, average holding time, please check back later. When you check that again, you'll see that it's about 168, 170 days, something like that.
Okay.
But that just depends on what's being pulled at a given moment. This information is refreshed on an hourly basis, and it comes from certain sources. So market data, for example, comes from CoinGecko. Holder distribution comes from HolderScan. There's a lot richer data that HolderScan has, but unfortunately, it's what's known as an API. So if you think of it from a layperson's perspective, it's kind of like your electrical outlet on the wall that you plug into in order to get electricity. Well, you plug into an outlet on HolderScan in order to get certain pieces of information from them, and that reveals certain data, but they don't reveal all the information that's present on their site, unfortunately, because they have richer info there. No, but we can get things like what is the number of total holders, there's a very rough approximation of narwhals, because our narwhals are 2 million token holders, 2 million plus token holders, bean holders, but HolderScan doesn't provide that piece of information specifically. They have who's holding $10,000 plus as far as today's value of beans is concerned. So it's maybe like a baby narwhal, I would say.
Right.
It's also useful to see, like, yeah, we have 36,000 holders as far as the system can determine it, but unique wallets is actually a larger number.
Yeah, 43,000. Wow. Wow. And I saw something on here that surprised me as well. It's just, yeah, I mean, it's very cool, Exit, to be able to come here in like one dashboard and get some very useful, because honestly, I would look around, like I would hear people say we have X number of holders. Now I know where I can go and find it without having to dig through a bunch of data that I don't really understand. So I think this will be very useful, no doubt.
And of course, tokenomics, because although these things aren't being pulled from anywhere, these are facts about UFD. So if someone's wondering, well, can we make more of this? Can the dev just print more of this? Right? Guess what, folks? It's not fiat. This is Rantoshi, not Jerome.
Not Jerome. No, the number of beans has been neutered. Okay, that's the fact, right? The community can reproduce at a very rapid rate, and our bean holders can reproduce at a very rapid rate, because, as I've said many times, we are the unicorn horniest community on the internet, but the number of beans is neutered, like Jasper the cat. So that gives us good tokenomics. Sorry, Exit. Yeah. Susie's cringing. Absolutely. Susie's listening and cringing right now. I can feel it. Yeah. But go ahead, buddy.
Like Nella, my dog, she's also neutered. Anyways, so the circulating supply also is 1 billion. It's never been like an amount of it was vested or locked tokens or locked for marketing reasons. No. All of these things went into circulation day one. So 100% open and fair distribution through open market. There are no buy-sell taxes. Of course, there are gas fees, which happens with any blockchain, but over 99% of the liquidity, as reported by the authorities, is locked. The freezing authority is disabled. So tempering or changing the future supply or rules is not on, because it's been it's built into the very contract of this thing. The very fabric of this thing. So that's some cool stuff. Below, if you were to scroll down, Ron, we have some other information that's useful. Perhaps a little bit less so to the casual visitor, but I think it's, even as a casual visitor, I'd be interested in this kind of stuff, because I'm a numbers guy. But our raiders, we have folks who go to HolderScan, and we have folks who gather information or through Lunar Crash. Actually, sorry, the social dominance comes from Lunar Crash. And I'll tell a little anecdote about it in a moment, but we kind of want to know at a glance what's going on in the ecosystem that we were part of. We were launched on Ron launched UFD on Pump.fun, and so how do we measure up? How do we stack up with other meme coins on this in this segment? And currently, as of minutes ago, we are number 4 with 0.18% of social dominance, across all crypto.
Wow.
So it's pretty darn decent, especially if you were to look at the next competitor up, which we often beat Vine, by the way. We kind of vacillate between fifth spot and third spot, and so that changes. You can see that it's actually based on number of mentions, and ours is 1.8 versus 1.88 in Vine, and so we've just in the last couple of days we've been bouncing. I've been watching this bounce around quite a bit. But the competitor above us, 41 million, and then Fartcoin that we were very close to flipping, if not even flipped at one point, sitting at 345, and that's I mean, they got a major haircut during the last little dump as well, because they were at over $1 billion for a while. So we're competing in a space that really kind of underscores the delta between the value of what we have here and the price of it. And at some point, and I've said this many times in different posts that I've done, the two will meet, and this is invariable. This has been across all different communities, all different meme coins in the past, where the value exceeds the price. There is a moment of reckoning where those two things catch up. And when this happens for UFD, I mean, it's going to be like The Exorcist, because heads are going to spin. I love it. This is I could not. If you're not getting the sense of it, by the way, listener, whoever you are, that I'm bullish about this, like, I am vibrating in my seat. I get up. I don't need coffee. UFD is my coffee. I can't wait to jump in, roll up my sleeves, and participate in the community. So there's another plug for being involved. Is what I get out of it is exponentially bigger than what I put into it. And I've put in a ton of hours into the website, but what I'm getting back out of it is far, far beyond.
Yeah, it's incredible. And when we look at Fartcoin, my rough calculation is their market cap is about 20 times bigger than ours right now. And that's after they've had quite a haircut. The other thing I'll throw in, and I'll include you in this group of us as well, is I feel like it's hard for me to put this into words, Exit, but our community engagement is much deeper than, and look, I love Fartcoin. I read an article about Fartcoin. That's part of the reason why I'm here. So I'm not putting down Fartcoin, but it feels like to me that our community engagement is kind of a next level or deeper, or has more content involved in it than what I see from some of the other communities. Is that am I way off base when I say that I see that?
No, that's exactly it. And of course, you have a great intuition, so you sense these things.
Yeah.
But also, if we look at it from a logical structure perspective, the numbers actually tell that story as well. The numbers tell that story, and I'm not being paid for doing this. I'm doing this because I love the community. I love to participate. I love to contribute. And I've gotten so much inspiration and value out of UFD that even though I'm nowhere near the whale status or narwhal status, I'm passionate about what we are becoming, what we already are, of course, and what we are becoming. So that, and I'm one of great. I'm not unique. I'm no unique snowflake. If you watch Fight Club, I keep hearing that voice. You're not a unique snowflake. So there are many people like me, and smarter than me, more talented than me, and who are giving even more of themselves to UFD. So now think about this. Think about, if a corporation, and how much would a executive level person get paid in that corporation. Now think about that time being contributed towards UFD. That increases the bag value for every single holder. Every single holder. And this is why I keep harping on the topic. This is why I'm so jazzed about more of us, more of the dusters, more of the diamond hooved participating actively. Because as more of us participate, the rocket ship is going to launch, and we will be market makers. Forget the charts. It's not going to be, oh, this is the trend, or Bitcoin's down, or Ethereum's down. No. It'll be exactly, we will be the reverse. We'll be the island that stands apart from others, because we are actually doing things differently than others. We're not just running by market whims. We hold our own intrinsic value.
Yeah, we are not a shiny red ball meme coin, and we aren't a gambling coin. We are like a long-term project coin based on quality and fairness and transparency, which, and you said it, I think it's a very powerful but very simple way to say it, is we really are different. And we have been from day one in the meme coin sector. So yeah, I won't repeat what you said, but you summed it up very nicely. There's I think a confluence of factors coming together in this project that is unlike anything else in most of crypto. I always like to compare us most to things like Bitcoin and maybe Ethereum, like the big ones. But I think when the scales tip and the confluence of those factors comes together, that it could be a very interesting time for those of you who got your certification here on the website.
100%.
Is the surprise at the end of the certification process that there's a $50 fee? I'm just joking.
No, but I do hope that part of what happens as a result of people playing with the site and seeing the other things that we've got in the pipeline for improving, not improving, but maybe enriching engagement, is that the folks who've been maybe have a few beans, they're kind of the more reluctant tester, they're kind of waiting to see what happens, will realize that this is real, that there's a tremendously powerful engine driving this thing forward, and that they're going to open up their wallets and say, yeah, I'm all in. Because guess what? My wife and I, we are literally, and I'm not, this isn't facetious, this is not a joke, this isn't something I just say for marketing. We are literally selling our house right now, and have been in the process of trying to sell it for some time. And I will be buying, and so will she, a whole slew more beans. Like, I'm intending to be a narwhal. I have a ways to go, and that's absolutely my intention. And so this is the type of conviction. I'm not the only one, by the way. There are lots of people, like one of the legends in the community, Scott, DCAs every day. There are a number of folks who follow that practice. I don't mean to single him out specifically, but he's a great exemplar of this. People who believe in this so much, they continue to buy.
Yeah, it's incredible. Go ahead.
Yeah, if you were to scroll down around the bottom of this page.
Can I point out one thing quickly? Because I spent all this time drawing with my crayons. So our market cap is, well, let me say it this way. Fartcoin's market cap is 20 times bigger than ours, 20x. Their social mentions are 2 times more than ours, okay? And again, that mentions just measures like the number of times that Fartcoin was mentioned in a post. I would still argue that our 180K, 180, they have 360K, that our 180K are higher quality. And with that, I'll be quiet and scroll down like you asked me. Exit.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point, Ron. Is the other small part of this, maybe not so small, I think it's a very significant part of this, is I'm an avid scuba diver. I was a scuba instructor for a period of time, and I worked at this place in the Philippines called Herb's Dive Club, and their slogan was "Don't panic, it's organic." It always comes to my mind because that's our community. Like, you look at those numbers and you think, oh, well, there's some bots or whatever. No, don't panic. It's organic. It's all organic.
And and think about, usually, at least here in the United States, anytime you want to acquire anything, usually food that's labeled as organic, it has a higher value associated with it.
100%. So yeah, we've got some charts here for those who are more visual, right? They want to see what the price looked like over time, and then what is our volume, how do the averages here stack up against that. So that's here, but also to a point that you made earlier, Ron, which is very, very important, and that's something that's actually woven into the fabric of this site here and on another page that we'll go into a moment. In a moment. Sorry, little sleep. I was working on this till midnight last night. But if you scroll down a little bit farther, there's this key thing that we're out to provide, and it starts with T. It's called transparency. It's something that's very near and dear to my heart. Is we can say whatever we want, and people can go, yeah, but you massage the numbers. This isn't real. Guess what, folks? It is real. you can go to the Gecko API, you can go to the Gecko website, you can get exactly the same numbers that our website has. They'll be to within an hour because you can see the timestamps on the bottom as well when the information was updated. Holder scan, you can see what we're getting from them. You can look at Lunar Crush and what we're getting from them. This isn't veiled in some wall of secrecy. This isn't some behind the scenes magic that's pumping up our numbers or maybe selecting the ones that look the prettiest. No, this is the real raw information. And if you want to validate it, if you want to verify it, it's right here. Again, this is how we start to build trust.
Yeah.
And trust breeds conviction, right? Because it's based on something. And I'm convinced that it's going to do well because I trust it.
It's interesting you bring up the T word. When I was in Paris at the Ledger conference, I had a long conversation with one of the top executives, and he was asking me about my YouTube journey prior to getting into Unicorn Fart Dust. And he said it, but I agree with it. And I've said this all along. Trust is everything. I mean, it is the cornerstone foundation of everything. And I think that what I've done and what everyone else, including you and the community, has done, the people that stick around in our community are generally a little more mature, responsible, and absolutely trustworthy. It's almost like a natural market force weeds out the people that aren't trustworthy, if that makes sense. And I think this giving references on our website is yet another reflection of that.
Absolutely. And I mean, you say it so beautifully, Ron, and this has become of our credo, right? Good attracts good.
Mm-hmm.
And this goes for other things as well. Like attracts like. You were talking yesterday on the live stream, like ducks fly with ducks, or
yeah,
however you put it. But this is it. It's also trust attracts trust and trustability. Yeah. And so this is cool.
And nobody's perfect, not to go down a rabbit hole. Nobody's perfect, right? It's I think the underlying intention of the community. Nobody's held to it has to be absolutely perfect, right? I can assure you, and Susie can attest, I'm far from perfect as a husband, a father, everything else, a meme coin, boomer-based dev, anything. But I think it comes down to the intention that people have, right? And I know from knowing you as well as I do that you intend to do things that are going to inspire trust in the community. And I, every day, do things that I believe will inspire trust in the community. And as an added bonus, I like to always throw in, it's a lot easier to operate that way. You feel better, and it's a lot simpler.
100%.
It really is.
Way fewer things to remember, right? It's just...
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. Did I say this? I don't remember. Like, no, I just told the truth. That's all I did. It's easy to remember.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe the next page, actually, because this goes with
onboarding
trust. We looked at onboarding, right, and the lore and all the details. But the community is the next page where we really start to showcase that level of transparency and what we do. So the first thing, we've talked about this before, Ron, I've had the pleasure of being on your live stream previously. and I talked about the fact that we have a structure in place, and you've been mentioning it on various streams as well. And this is also something that it's not a pyramid. We're not sitting at the top of it dictating how things are going to be done. And this is far from it's laughable that that's what it would be. It is It is the opposite of that. It's a servant leadership model that works within our distributed fabric, and we are here representing certain pillars of capability, but on the shoulders of this team, if you will, of this grouping, is the community. Like, we are here to prop up the community. We are here to serve the community. We are here at your, not at your disposal necessarily, but we are here to improve value for all and to make things better for all, to provide value to the community.
And everyone's here because they want to be here, right? And no one's being paid by Unicorn Fart Dust. I think I like the way you say that, because we are, right, a distributed, decentralized community, no doubt about it. But I do think having a level of structure available within that overall decentralized environment can lead to some real efficiencies and some real benefits. for the overall good of the project.
100%. And so here you get to meet the UFD leadership. And by the way, even the word leadership, or we internally call ourselves the leadership council. There's a difference between team and council, where a team focuses more on the kind of tactical execution of tasks, whereas a council focuses more on keeping the lore, keeping things consistent with the ethos of a project and so on. And I think that that's what we're evolving towards. But even just the moniker of it, the name, may not resonate with everybody. Some people may kind of get exactly the wrong feel about it, that they're being now told what to do. That isn't it. And as a matter of fact, even the name is mutable and changeable, and we invite the community. This is going to be something we're launching very soon. There'll be announcements coming up about our community Discord. And one of the first things that we're going to have on the community Discord as a group activity, and why Discord and not X, I'll also go into this in a moment, really briefly. But in Discord, we'll have a venue for our community members. We're going to have a poll with a few different possible names, and we're going to take your vote as to what you wish for us to be called. So what resonates with you the most? There are a few things been thrown around. Personally, I like lore keepers because it kind of makes me think of Lord of the Rings a little bit. But and the whole unicorn image, that kind of fits with that for me, in my mind at least. But even something like that, we want to give the community a voice, and this website is only a part of it, but it extends out beyond it. And Discord is going to be the next big piece that provides a lot more interactivity as far as gathering your ideas, having a chance to vote on those ideas. And the reason why not X? In X, you can vote multiple times on the same issue. You can turn a bot on a poll, and we've seen what that looks like, right?
Yes.
The numbers can be very deceiving. Whereas on Discord, it's 1-to-1, and on Discord, you're going to connect your wallet, whether it's your full wallet or whether you just spin up a temporary one with a few beans in it, to get validated as a duster. And guess what? If you sell your beans, your duster designation gets revoked, because that's the thing keeps checking in the background periodically. All it is a read. All it is a read. Yeah.
That I like that. That sounds very cool. Georgie, Jack, Nate, and Scott. And this is static too. Some people, depending on what's going on in their life at any given time, we don't want anybody to leave. We're very appreciative, but other people could be added to this UFD council, leadership, whatever name we wind up using in the future. Is that a safe assessment? Exit? 100%.
And actually, if you were to scroll down just a tiny bit, Ron, there's a little blurb here that actually speaks to that a bit. And the leads are supported by a cast of what we call Team Shadows. So these are folks who are working with us. They may, there are other people who are part of the leadership group who just they prefer to stay in the background and provide supports. They've got plenty of things on their plates, and they have busy lives, so they don't necessarily want to be public. And there are other folks who maybe don't have the same level of leadership experience from their past, and yet they are looking for some mentorship. They're looking to get involved. They're looking to contribute. And each one of us, visible up on that board, is working with a group of others. Whether or not actively yet, we will be. That's the whole intention. Is so that if I get hit by a bus or whatever, if something happens to any one of us, that there is a small group of people who are ready to take that place. We all have things happen in our lives. There'll be a point in time when I want to spend a bunch of my time underwater, like looking at the cool world, and I won't have my phone with me there. and that's the whole idea, is to unplug. And there'll be others who are stepping in, and so this is also how we keep true to the distributed ethos of crypto and UFD.
Yeah, maybe you can live stream when you're underwater. You never know.
Maybe. I think some people would be amazed and surprised what you can see. But if you were to scroll down around, this page also reveals some additional details. Like, we want to show off the recognition that we have as part of the community. So this is one of the pieces of the site that reads from a file. So it's very easy for us to add names to this. It's very easy to add information to this.
Awesome.
And these are folks that we recognize. It shows the last 10 is what it is. Is we have a lot more. We don't want to make this so someone has to scroll for
Right.
whoever knows how long, but it'll be the last 10 that'll always show there.
Wow. Oh, wow. Can I go down here?
Yeah, please. We also have a community showcase. So I just picked a few random things to show here. There are only 3 things that if we click through it in the carousel, it'll show the different images. But
Love
the
it.
idea is that I just picked some random things that kind of just I don't know. For whatever reason, those were the ones that spoke to me as kind of things to showcase at the start. But this can be as big or as small as we want it to be. Also very, very easy for us to add components to it and showcase some of the creativity that we have as part of our UFD fabric.
Wow, I love it. I keep looking at Elizabeth jumping midair with her Thus We Trust. And there's Taza, right? And I see all kinds. There's DJ Litmus. So yeah, always. And look at all that. Just since we're here, I love the collage pictures down at the bottom. Everybody with their, which Vincent started that. Another key community member. He started the Thus We Trust. He's a great guy. Right. I mean, and as the leadership council evolves, like we said, who knows, who may want to or who we invite to become part of that.
Yes. Yeah, and because we're doing things in a way that's repeatable, that's process-based, we actually have an application form that's something that we all, even internally, the people who are already there, we fill out a form so that we know what are our key skill sets, how do they intersect, what may be missing, and as new members put their hand up and want to join the table, that's they fill out an application and then we review it and when we talk about it, and we don't want to have a cast of 100 people because it becomes very difficult to manage it.
Sure.
But having something that's right sized and with that cast of supports that are ready to step in at any moment as well, that's very, very useful. So we're not living in an echo chamber. We truly are honoring that distributed nature.
Awesome.
And then scrolling down around, if we just kind of maybe follow the page nearly to the bottom there. The thing that people ask about a lot is what's going on in the community, and there are some more casual dusters who they just don't necessarily have the time to listen through, as beautiful and interesting as these live streams are. And we have a lot of different events that happen, like not events but repeatable things that happen where we share ideas about what the events are or things like that. We kind of wanted to have an at a glance place of what these things are, and I mean the leadership town hall is just a placeholder date there. But something that I'll be talking about on our Monday meeting is I think that it'll be worthwhile for us to actually have something maybe monthly recurring or whatever the cadence of it will be, whatever the frequency of it will be, that allows the community members just to join the leadership group and kind of listen to us chat about things and throw out their ideas as well. And sometimes you want to step into the sausage factory just to make sure that it's as organic as you hope it is.
Right. No, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I mean DJ Litmus, of course, we want to feature something like that because it's such a cool thing, and my head is already bopping in the background here, thinking of the awesome tunes we're going to hear this Friday. Yeah, some guidelines
tomorrow.
about some what are the things that we want to think about as a duster, right? Being kind and respectful, being positive, and so on and so forth. So you can scroll through there. That will as you visit the site and kind of see how that fits you, right? Yeah, but these are the things that make us who we are by hold build. Yeah.
Awesome. I love it. Wow. There's a lot on this website. Really awesome.
Yeah. And again, to the topic of transparency, people have asked a number of times, what's in this marketing wallet? I'm donating money to it. One, what are we holding there? What's its value, and two, what's being done with it? So this provides an up-to-date, and it tells there's a little time step on the bottom to say when it was last updated. It also updates hourly, so that we're not hitting that plug over and over and over and wearing it out, so to speak.
Right.
But it also shows the address there, and if you click on the address, it takes you to a separate site that actually shows the I think it's SoulScan data directly, so that you can see that we're not manipulating this information in any way. It is unadulterated and raw and coming in. And as an adjunct to it, on our Discord, on our community Discord, we already have built a channel. So these are groupings of information that you go to. It's kind of like a tab on a website for those more traditional folks. And in that channel, you'll also see the transfers in and out of that wallet and information about what money is being committed to. So this is our commitment to continued transparency and just providing information so that members at a glance can get this view. They don't have to go somewhere to request it. They don't have to, they don't have to be fussed about it. They just go and they see it.
Man, there's a lot of data, of good data on this website. Things that would take me 5 hours to discover, from social metrics to wallet information to so much more. That's like all right here in one simple place, like a dashboard.
That's exactly it.
Yep.
And also because probably looking at time, we'll be wrapping up soon, and I know that maybe we wanted to show what this experience also looks like on the mobile, because the site is for the technically minded, called responsive. But before we go there, there's one other thing I wanted to talk about, kind of geek out here for one moment for folks who maybe are a little bit more technically minded. As far as how this is set up, so the way that we've set this up is it mirrors an enterprise development and release pipeline. So very large organizations that have big websites or applications, when those applications are being built or when they're being maintained or run, because you run an application that gets new features and updates periods of time, and it gets certain fixed releases certain time. They have a way in which they organize it, and that's what it's called. It's called a development and release pipeline, meaning that we do things in stages. So the way that this works is, on my system right now, and this is something that is set up in a way that others can collaborate on. I make some certain changes on my system. I commit them into a repository. For those interested, it's on GitHub. It's a private one, so this isn't something that we're exposing to everybody. But people can be invited to it, and like, for example, Just a Guy is a contributor in that repository and can download code from it and modify that code. And so we have the repository within which we have two main branches, like buckets. The first bucket, so when I've done my changes locally, I commit them to pre-production. So it's kind of like the testing bucket. Our website provider automatically picks it up and creates a temporary address where I can go and test that things look and feel the way that I expect them to. And making these modifications until midnight last night, making a couple of fixes here. There were a few things that I would miss certain bracket, and something's just not working. So absolutely, these things happen, and then I would go and recommit another change, test it. Yes, it's working and looking good. Okay, fantastic. I press a button, it goes into the main what's called the production bucket, and our website automatically picks it up, builds it, and displays it within about 5 minutes. So
wow,
there's this staged process. Large organizations have even more buckets than that, but for our purposes, we have these ones, and it works really, really well. I think it's very, very slick, not just from the fact that it's slick, but it's something that is incredibly functional. It allows for collaboration, so I'm not like Wizard of Oz sitting behind some screen, right? Other people can join this who want to participate, who of course they would need to be vetted, because we have some certain secure information as far as keys that allow us to access the information from Lunar Crash and so on and so forth. But we have people who may have development expertise and may want to contribute in the future. It's enabled for that. Not only is it enabled for that, it's built for it, and it's built for it in a way that's very robust.
Interesting. So it's not like one person controls it and has ultimate authority over it. It's built in a way that it can stand the test of time. Is that accurate?
100% stand the test of time, and the provider that we're using, Cloudflare, is one of the top providers in the world. They're actually used for many purposes, even by those who host their websites elsewhere. Their infrastructure has those multiple servers around the world that provides redundancy and so on. They're the ones who do a lot of the verification things for Are You Human? When you visit a site, you see a little Cloudflare banner pop up, and, and you get verified. So we're swimming with the big boys, and robust and durable and meant to survive and here for the long run. All these things are built into the fabric of our site.
Sounds great. Do we want to look at the roadmap, or do we want to do the mobile display?
Maybe let's. I mean, it's up to you, Ron, really. But maybe we show the flavor of it on a mobile device, because folks will discover other pieces here. Of course, the roadmap speaks to where we've been, where we are, some fun ideas for a potential future. And again, plug for the Discord server once it goes live. Really encourage everybody to sign on to it, get verified as a Duster ASAP, because you'll have access to so many cool things, and one of them will be having a voice in what comes next. What do we focus on next?
Yeah,
we want to hear your ideas.
Yeah, this is your website. If you're a Duster, this is your website. And I meant to say that when you showed the leadership council or leadership group, whatever we're going to call it, like, I know everybody on there, and like, this is not an ego thing. It's a community thing. I think that's, I talk about our community being mature, responsible, and nobody's perfect, but generally there aren't any big, huge egos in our community. People are willing to listen and willing to do things for the overall good of the project.
Absolutely. And this is the other fun little thing about our team is, I think almost everybody on it, if not everybody on it, didn't actually come to you, Ron, and say, can I be a part of the leadership team or anything like that. It's more like we were tapped on the shoulder because we were doing this already.
Yeah.
And someone tapped us and said, hey, I think that you'd be good being part of a group and contributing. So
yeah, you're absolutely right. I was thinking of this the other night. I've never asked anyone for anything since I started UFD. I didn't ask that people replenish my beans. That's a kind of a side subject matter. People step up. And I think, again, that speaks to the organic community feel that this project has, that makes us very, very unique. Like, people just step up, volunteer, and then just, I would call it, through the community market, right? The good people, the cream rises to the top, and people stick around. The good people really embed themselves within UFD. And I'm saying this now for the third time, but I really think that makes this project way different.
Absolutely.
Want me to show it on mobile?
If you'd like to, let's
give
make
it a
this
shot.
happen.
Okay, so I went to Google and put in Unicorn Fart Desk website, and we'll see how the camera does with this. Oh, here we go. Boom. There it is. Can they see that?
Yeah, I can see it. Maybe not perfect, but you can see that there's something coming up. Okay, now you have to press something there.
Yeah. So I understand and agree. Becoming an active member, you could get addicted. Oh, wow. So this is really optimized. This is cool. I like it on the desktop, but yeah, I mean, look at that. Join the herd, stats and trust, all the different components that we looked at are right here.
Yeah. And the two bubbles on the top, on the left-hand side, you've got our logo, and on the right-hand side is what's known as a hamburger menu. So that's how you can navigate the different pages on mobile very easily. So again, at a glance, all of the functionality works correctly. We've tested on Android, we tested on iPhones.
Yeah, I'm Android, and there's the film, and I can attest. Look, it like scrolls.
Yep, there you go. There you are.
I do everything on my phone. Really looks good on this, old Android phone that I use. Really, I could only imagine what it would look like on, an iPhone, a newer iPhone, whatever. Very cool. Exit. I like it. I like this a lot. I loved it on the desktop, but this is cool.
I'll tell you, Ron, it looks better on your phone than it does on mine. I need reading glasses more and more often nowadays, or my arm isn't quite long enough to give me good field of view on things.
Yeah.
But so I have it set up for the blind. I'm just joking, but I have larger fonts, and with those larger fonts, it means that it fits less on the screen. So it's less than ideal on my iPhone, but tested on my wife's Android, and it looks great, just like it does on yours.
It really looks incredible. I clicked on the first. Excuse me, I'm fighting a cold. I clicked on the first frame on the film thing, and there it is. I mean, yeah, no, I love it. Thank you, Exit.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Absolutely.
When we hang up, I'll be on my phone checking this out. It looks great.
Cool.
And
Well, I mean,
by the way, Exit, we have 500 people who have joined us now,
oh, well,
which is a lot for a cryptocurrency meme coin live stream. So thank you everybody for being here. Please retweet this so that we can get the news out more and more about the website. Don't forget, we've got a Hollow Bean contest going on. You can go to Georgie 420's profile on X to learn about that. I'm probably forgetting some things. Maybe Exit will help me when we get to the end here, but go ahead, Exit. Do we want to look at that last panel on the website?
we can, but I mean, really, it's
Let them
the last
discover
one
it
about
themselves.
roadmap really is the last piece that I mean, NFTs people can look at themselves as well.
Yeah.
We're showcasing some of our incredible artists, but here we can. This is actually my personal little quibble with this. Is I had a different vision for a roadmap page, so this is probably going to be one of the components of it that is modified first.
Yeah.
As you scroll across it, there's a farting unicorn that flies around, but
a translucent farting unicorn. I think sometimes when I get too tired, I see him flying around down here in my basement. Really cool. So you've got future plans, current activities, and hold on, let me go down here. And then what's the first panel here?
Past achievements.
Past achievements. Awesome. Totally love it. And are we going to stop now and let people discover the Easter eggs? Discover the Easter eggs for themselves. Tomorrow night is the big DJ Litmus rave party. I'll be posting about it. DJ Litmus will be posting about it. We talked about the Hollow Bean contest. We will have IP coming out sometime in the near future. But today, the big news was the website, which is incredible. I started out by saying thank you, Exit. I can't express how impressed I am with what you've done. And to see this as a living website evolve over time as the community evolves, as the IP comes out, is really exciting, right? And, you're a great example to me of a community member who has skills and talents, and you saw an opportunity where you could help UFD, and you've definitely stepped up. So on behalf of myself, upstairs Susie, who I just heard moving around upstairs, and the whole UFD community, seriously, thank you. And I loved it on the desktop, but I am like enamored with it on my phone. So as soon as we get done here, I'll be picking my phone up to play around for a while.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm so pleased. Thank you. And thanks, of course, for your inspiration and your leadership and everything, Ron. And to all of you in the community and those maybe who are just tuning in to see what UFD is about. This is so unique. This is, I keep kind of saying the same thing, but,
Go ahead, say it.
It makes my eyes water, and it's inspiring. It is life-changing. I continue to aspire to the way of the unicorn, and for me, being in service of something greater than me is that to have this sense of purpose with something. It is life-changing, and I just encourage you as listeners or viewers, take advantage of it because it's here for the taking. It's and here for the taking, and by taking, it's here for the giving. Mm-hmm. It's incredible.
Yeah, and it feels good to do good.
It feels great to do good, absolutely.
Yeah, so, I was talking to David Goldstein yesterday, and I said, or I was talking to somebody else yesterday. I've been talking to a lot of people, but I said, I think if you take the vast majority of people in the world, everywhere in the world, all age groups, and you ask them a question, do you want good or do you want evil, right? They had a good button and an evil button. I think like over 99% of people press the good button, right? People mm-hmm. want good. Nobody's perfect, but we really do have a unique project in so many ways. I got to watch myself because I could talk for another 10 minutes about it, but it really is a unique situation. Is it hard work? Yes. But anything big, anything good worth accomplishing in life is hard. Otherwise, anybody would do it, right? Yep. Anybody can start a cryptocurrency meme coin. Trust me. Watch, there's a 10-minute YouTube video. You can do it yourself. The hard part is right? And it's what everybody in the community is doing, is showing up every day because they believe in it, because they know that this is something special, and sticking with it day by day.
Yeah, I mean, the website itself is a culmination of about 100+ hours of just my work, not counting what other people put into it.
Yeah.
And yet, I will say this: what I used to say when I worked in, as an executive in a large corporation, and I had team of more than 200 people that I supported as a leader, that I worked for, because that's how I saw it. I worked for them, as well as my clients. I am one of the most selfish people you will meet. And I don't mean this in a cheeky way. I just know that doing good pays back 100-fold.
Yeah.
I'm selfish long term, not short term, because short term selfish never works. It's actually counterintuitive. But I want to feel good. I want to feel like I've contributed. I get so much out of it.
Yeah.
And yeah.
No, it makes I couldn't say it better. So thank you, Exit. Thank you to everyone who helped Exit on this project. Thank you to everyone who's joining us today. Now we have 550 people on our live stream, which is really good for an early morning Thursday live stream. That's because what we're doing here is really good, and what you and the people that helped you on this project accomplish is a big, big deal. So thank you, my friend, and I can't wait.
Ron.
I can't wait to see where this goes because it's
awesome.
already awesome. So we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, everybody, for out there.
Horns up.
Horns up. And don't forget, be good to yourself first. That'll give you a good platform from which to be good to other people. And we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.